I don't care about brand names. I care about what actually works for us creators. So instead of talking about the Rode, I'm going to talk about the Tascam Mixcast4, an all-in-one podcasting, live streaming, just basic YouTube audio setup interface that can handle all your needs with 4 independent ends. I'm telling you, it's dope. It's something you might want to consider instead of going the other way. And the price is pretty good too. All right, let's get into it. All right, my name is Creator from We Shoot Films, and I help content creators and entrepreneurs build their brand or business through video and audio. So if that's you, make sure to subscribe today. What is the Mixcast4? So the Tascam Mixcast4 is basically a production hub for people creating content, whether you're doing podcasting with multiple guests, live streams, voiceover work, or even small event production. It's designed to mix and record everything in one box. You could bring in your mics, your background music, your sound effects, jingles from the pads, and even audio from your phone, your computer, or a Bluetooth device. So instead of juggling 3 different devices or 5 random apps and stuff, you centralize everything into this one unit. So let's talk about the ease of use and the touch panel real quick. One of the biggest things I love about this unit is how stress-free the whole control layout is. I mean, you get 4 mic inputs, 4 individual headphone outputs, so everyone at the table can actually hear what's going on, and a touch panel that keeps everything simple and visual. So for podcast production or live streaming, you're not diving through no deep menus. You've got dedicated controls, clear meters, and you can see what's active at a glance. If you're someone who doesn't want to become a full audio engineer just to run a podcast, this is the kind of interface that you need. All right, so let's talk about the recording power, 14 tracks to SD, and the connectivity. I'm telling you, that's a lot. It's dope. Now, the Mixcast4 is more than just a mixer. You get 14 track recording directly to a SD card. That means you're not just recording a simple stereo mix. You can have individual tracks to work with later in post, which is huge if you want to fix levels, clean up a guest mic, or rebalance music after the fact. For inputs, you've got a couple of different ways to bring in sound. You got Bluetooth audio inputs, so you can quickly pull in music or a caller from your phone without a bunch of cables. USB connectivity, so you can connect it to your computer and bring in sounds from your DAW, your streaming software, or any app. So whether you're using it as a standalone recorder or as a part of a bigger computer setup, it covers both sides. Let's talk about the fun part, the sound pads, because it is kind of dope. I ain't gonna front. The Mixcast4 comes with 8 banks of customizable illuminated sound pads. You can trigger sound effects, drop jingles, play background music, or even trigger pre-recorded mic clips. It does come with the preset effects, but the real power is that you can assign your own sounds. So if you have your own branding, your own intro stings, ad reads, applause, whatever, you load them in and now your show feels like an actual show, not just a dry Zoom call. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about this too. So for live streaming or podcasting, being able to fire up these sounds, you know what I mean, and create a customizable experience is pretty dope. Now, it does come with its own software, which allows you to do simple post-editing for audio, track arming controls, and it's an easier way to configure and assign sounds and music and effects to the pads. So this is very much focused on podcasting and content creation, okay? I want to make sure you understand this is not a full-on music production, okay? So for most people, using this is going to be exactly what you need. In the back of the unit, you have your power, your DCN 12 volt, where you place your SD card for recording, your 4 independent headphones, your USB to connect to your computer, your 2 monitor outs for your speakers, you have a line out, you have a stereo line in, and you have a TRRS for your phone, and 4 independent mic inputs. Now, on the top of the unit, you have your talkback, you have your mutes, and your solos. Then you have your monitor out, and you also have your 4 independent individual outputs that you can control for your headphones. You can go into the menu and hit the microphones. And if you pick mic 1, you can choose from dynamic, condenser, front, rear. You have voice settings, and the voice settings let you change your tones. It gives you a compressor that you can manually do it or not. It also gives you processing for your de-esser, noise suppressor, or ducking. And the ducking basically is whenever you talk, and if you have music on, it'll automatically drop the music when you speak. But I don't use that too much. I leave the processor off. Now you also have your controls there, and you have your effects for your sign to pads, but we're not doing that right now. Now you also can go to your playback. Here it shows you everything to play back. You have your buttons here for your sound pads where you can label them and do everything that you need for your sound pads basically. This is the hardware settings for your audio. Gives you all of those things. Your multi-track, your USB delays, and your language, date, time, all that good stuff. And then you have your SD where you can, format your card, do all those type of things. Nothing crazy, but it looks great. It's simple and it's easy to understand. You hit the record, as you see, it's recording. It tells you the time that it's recording. You stop it. You can label it here and all that good stuff, then hit OK. So on the unit itself, you see it's labeled 1, 2, 3, 4 for your inputs. You got your USB, your phone, and your Bluetooth, and your sound pad levels. So everything's labeled, easy to understand. All right, so here goes right here. I'm gonna show you this real quick. These are the mutes up here, obviously you can mute and all that good stuff. And these are the controls. The controls feel real good. I'm telling you, these controls, they're not too flimsy or nothing. They got just enough drag on it where it feels very good. And as you see my levels right here. And this is for the levels for your sound pads, and they're very reactive. I'm gonna just let you hear some that come with it. So here we go. So who is this for? If you're doing multi-person podcasts and you want 4 mics, 4 headphones with a bunch of external gear, this could be for you. If you're live streaming and you want to bring in music, sound effects, phone calls, and computer audio in one place, this could be for you. If you want to record multi-track to SD and still have the option to connect to a computer, this could be for you. If you're just recording a single mic into your laptop, this might be more than you need. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to build a consistent show with guests and production value, it starts to make a lot of sense. Me personally, I use it for everything. I use it for podcasting, live streaming, and my basic YouTube setup, audio interface. I love the way it sounds. It has a lot of power. I've traveled with this. I've gone to other places with it to shoot podcasts. It's great. It's a really great unit. I use it as an audio backup for doing reviews like this, where I record my audio internally just in case for some reason my audio gets messed up with OBS or something. So there's a lot of uses for this. So I love this. But that's that. Let's get into the pros and the cons real quick. It's an all-in-one workflow. Mics, music, effects, phone, Bluetooth, computer, all in one unit. 14 tracks to SD recording. Gives you all the flexibility you need later in post. It got 4 mic ins, 4 headphone outs, no headphone splitter chaos at the table, custom sound pads, podcast editing software. So what are my cons? I would have to say my biggest con is there's no USB-C microphone support, because nowadays you see a lot of this. Now, that doesn't discount this all the way, but it is something that you have to consider. You feel me? Because you can't plug in, a USB-C microphone directly into this unit. Next con, no carrying case included, or even to purchase one, at least that I've seen. Because a device that's clearly made for podcasts, events, mobile setups, not having at least a basic case feels crazy, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. And I would have to say, just to nitpick, the design could use a little facelift. It works, but it doesn't really stand out on the desk like that. I mean, it looks good, but if Tascam drops a new version, I'd love to see, a cleaner, more modern look to match how powerful it actually is. But other than that, I'm good. So things to think about, if you're only doing solo content, this might be overkill. But for me, to be real with you, I'ma still use it because it's there just in case. You feel me? I do a lot of solo content. I still have it so that when them issues come up, or not issues, but when them opportunities come for me to shoot a podcast or to bring more guests in, I don't have to go buy another unit. It's here. It's ready to go. So what are my final thoughts? This is for everybody who's into content creating. Like I said, whether you're solo or you're not, it's there when it's ready. When the opportunity comes up, you got to do a podcast, you can do it. If you have to do an event, you can do it. If you're solo, you can do it. If you're going to travel with it, you can do it. It ain't too heavy. It ain't too bulky. It's a nice size. It handles well. It sounds amazing. Self-recording, 4 inputs. You just got everything that you need. I've had it for a few years and it hasn't failed not one time on me. So I can really say, based off my experience, that this thing is an amazing tool and it's something that you should really consider. So as always, this is Creative from We Shoot Films. I appreciate your time. I'll have all the links in the description below if you're interested in purchasing this. If you use my link, it'll help me out a little bit with no extra cost to you, and I would appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. But other than that, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell on the side so you get notified on time. And like I always say, it is what it is. I'm out, y'all.